assignments because I work Monday to Sunday. So and we do a lot of trainings in my office. So we do a lot of training. We do a lot of trainings in my organization. So we train different firms, for different things. So and I manage the entire process for that. So it's I've not really sat down properly to really do a lot of assignments. I mean, I do like one per week, and I continue my day because of my. I'm currently at work as we speak right now. We're in a training right now, so it's been a lot. But I will catch up. The GitHub part has been appealing to me a lot because I got a remote role recently, and I've been trying to navigate my way around their GitHub repository because they have too many code bases there, and it's quite a lot. It's difficult to understand, but the GitHub bit has really helped a lot. So yeah, but I'll catch up to all of the assignments. I'll do everything. At least from next week, the pressure will reduce a bit, and I'll be able to catch up. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. The main thing is that you're progressing and you're not relenting, despite how busy your schedule is. The main thing is you're progressing and you're not you didn't abandon it. So well done. Um okay. So I guess we'll have to start. This is 6:11. But please, anyone that joins with your PC, please just let me know so we can move from this to PC. Thank you. So
Okay, how
today
good is
will
it?
be. It's fine. I can see it and I believe others can too.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at software engineering principles today. Uh Last week we did Git and GitHub. Hold on. So last week we looked at Git and GitHub. We discussed. You can move to the next one, please. Thank you. We looked at Git and GitHub last week. We discussed the difference between Git and GitHub, where we said Git is the software used for version control, while GitHub is the platform used for collaboration and also accessible using Git. So today we'll be moving forward and we'll be looking at software engineering principles. We're going to look at the principles that guides uh, software engineering and how it relates to data engineering. Now, what this means is that we're looking at some let me say instructions, some principles generally that is used to write codes and to make codes easily understandable by not just you who is writing it, but by any other person who gets to read your code. Because when we're writing, you do not write things that you would just that will just solve your problem at that moment. You write things that would say outlive you, in the sense that anybody come next year, next 2 years, 3 years, anyone that sees what you have written, the person would be able to understand it because the code you have written has followed certain principles which are universal. So today we're going to look at some of these principles and how they are being used in data engineering. Then at the end, there is a link where you guys are to sort of work on just a little code that I wrote and refactor it using these software principles. So, first of all, what is software engineering? Engineering principle. Uh, Simply defined, simply put, these are guidelines that enable developers to build and maintain software. Guidelines, like I said, principles, they are set guidelines that is followed by everyone, no matter where you are in the world, as long as you call yourself an engineer, as long as you call yourself someone who loves to code. These are principles that are set such that anybody who sees it will understand. Someone in UK writes a code and I get to read it and I can say what that code is doing, I will read the logic, and I understand the logic behind that code without the person being present to explain these things to me. So that is what software engineering principles are. They are guidelines that enables us write good code. And these principles, they ensure that systems, they are reliable, they are easy to maintain, and they are scalable. By systems here, we're talking of coding generally, because that's what this class is all about. So this principle helps us to ensure that we write reliable codes, we write codes that are easy to maintain, and we also write codes that are scalable. Scalable in the sense that uh, we can always easily expand one section of the code, and it doesn't get to affect the entire code base. We just adjust one or two lines in a section, and it doesn't warrant us opening the entire code base to start looking for a certain line that we need to adjust. Then how does this principle relate in data engineering? Why software engineering principles in data engineering? Now, the benefits of this is that, one, as data engineers, we write codes, and the codes that we write are basically ETL codes to extract data from somewhere to transform the data using either business logic or the best way we need to perform that transformation at that moment. Then we are loading it to somewhere, and all of these processes requires writing of codes. So as data engineers, we write lots of codes, and in writing these codes, we need to write it in a structured way that everybody can understand. Then also for clean and well-documented code. Now, what this means is the code you're writing is not packed. Like, it's broken down in such a way that anybody that sees it, using clear indentation, using clear names, using good variable names, these are the things that we use in writing our code, such that anyone who sees it can easily understand that this code block performs this thing, and this another code block B performs something else. So it is used for clean and well documented code. In documenting our code, it means writing clear comments and doc strings, telling and explaining what each portion of our code does, and what each line does in our code. Then it also makes code easy to debug. Now, when we follow these software engineering principles, it helps us in debugging large chunks of code. When we write a lengthy code and our pipeline breaks probably at the transformation stage, if you write a good code, write it following these software principles, any stage your code breaks in, if it breaks in the transformation stage, you can easily know what line you're going to. And this can be done when we use these software principles in our codes. So no matter the point where your pipeline breaks, when you employ these principles, you can easily tell by reading the error message or the error logs that your code returns. You can easily tell that, oh, hold on. You can easily tell where the error, you can easily tell where your error is coming from, and it makes debugging easy. So some of our common ETL problems are, first of all, we have, when we write code in a single file, it's actually referred to as spaghetti code. When you write all your logic as a single file, that is called spaghetti code, because it doesn't it doesn't show any difference, no separation of logic. Everything is all together in one long document, as long as a spaghetti. So that's why it's called a spaghetti. When you write it in just one file, you do not break it into the various logics. That's one of the problems, because if you write if you see a code base that has up to thousands of rows, how easy would it be for you to debug such? But when the code is written such that the rows, each logic is broken down into different files on its own, then it is easier to debug. Then also another problem we have is no version control. Now, last week we looked at the essence of Git and version control in not just our codes, in our documents. So when you come to writing codes and you do not have version, there is no version control to monitor the changes, to track the changes made on that file. When you mistakenly make a certain change, you click on the save button and there is nothing to track the changes that has been made on that file. It will be very difficult. It will be very difficult to roll back. It will be very difficult to roll back the changes that you made, so that you can get the code on in its previous form before the error was made. So when there is version control, it helps prevent situations like this, so that whenever you make any change on your code and you run it, you see that this is not giving me what I want. With version control, you can easily trace back and go back to the previous version of your code. So these are some of the problems we face in writing our codes and in our ETL logics. Then thirdly, we have silent pipeline failures. This one happens when there is nothing that is used to keep track of where, when you're running a pipeline, there is nothing that is used to keep track of where the pipeline is, or there is nothing to keep track of the line that is being run at any moment. So if your code encounters an error, it would just fail, and it will be difficult for you to keep track of where the failure actually happened. So silent pipeline failures, it means that when we are writing codes, we should always ensure that we write login messages that would tell us at any moment in time where our pipeline is. At any moment in time, what is our code doing? At every moment, what is happening? So that when there is a break, we can easily know where to start searching for the error. Then we're looking at this software engineering principles for data engineers. Now, some of these software principles that is relevant to data engineers are: one, modularity of code; two is the dry principle, don't repeat yourself; three is the KISS, that's keep it simple, stupid; then separation of tasks; then using of Git for version control. Now, when we talk of code modularity, we mean breaking your code down into different modules, into smaller chunks, smaller manageable modules and blocks, breaking it down so that you know what is happening in every aspect of your code. Then the dry principle, do not repeat yourself. It's this: when you're writing code and say you're performing a certain transformation and you want to let's say a transformation as easy as changing the column name of, say, about 10 columns. You just want to change the column names. Instead of writing each column name as one line of code, you can easily write all column names as a list, then use a lambda function to simply call on the list and make the changes on the column name, rather than having 10 different lines of codes performing the same logic but on different columns. You can simply have just 2 lines, one being the column names written as a list, and the second line being a lambda function that would perform the transformation, that will perform the change of column names. So the don't repeat yourself principle is that when you find yourself repeating a certain code logic in your while writing code, then you will have to go and look at that logic again and see how you can change that to either a function or to rewrite it using a method in using a Python method. But when you see yourself repeating a certain code, using it repeatedly for just one transformation function, just see how you can go back and refactor it such that you do not have to keep repeating that transformation all over again, despite it being on different columns. Then keeping it simple simply means you keep your codes to be as simple and as straightforward as possible. There is no need writing lengthy if statements when just one list comprehension can solve that issue. There is no need writing lengthy for loops when just a list comprehension or a lambda function can actually solve it. So you keep your the code as simple as you can so that you make use of the available functions in Python. They are there for a reason. So rather than writing lengthy codes, if there is a function that can actually perform that code you're writing, apply the function and be done with it. Then talking of separating of tasks, this simply points at when writing code, you need to look at your logic. Like we're always talking ETL, that's the extract, the transform, and the load. Each of these are different logics, and when writing a function or when writing a script to perform this ETL logic, you ensure that 3 of them are actually written as separate functions. Or if you're writing it using Python scripts, you ensure that these 3 different functions, they are written as different Python scripts. Then you call them in the main script. So separation of tasks here means that every logic that you're applying on your code should be written separately, should be written as a separate code block, best defined as a function. Then the use of Git for version control. Now this simply is, as you're writing, you're pushing. As you're writing your code, you're pushing and you're committing that code so as to ensure that every change made on that code is actually tracked by Git. It's tracked using Git so that any change that is made, if there is an error, you can easily revert back to the previous to how the code was previously. So using Git for version control. Then I'll also add using the agile method for software. Yes, it's a software principle using agile method. Now what this one means is that rather than waiting till the end of you're doing a project right now, rather than waiting till you complete it before deploying, or let's say before pushing it on Git, you can write it in bits. You write the first one and you push. You write the next one and you push. And after that, if there is any changes that you want to make, of course, we did git pull and push. You pull the project to your system, rewrite the codes you want to write, make the changes you want to make on the file itself, then you push. Now, what this means is that you keep iterating, you keep going through this process over and over again until you get what you actually want. So these are some of the principles that are applicable for data engineers. Then I'm going to give an example here of what a spaghetti code is. Now, this line as it is, what we can see, is actually a code. I don't know. Can someone just, looking at this now, looking at the example that we have on the screen right now, can someone just point out some of say the changes that we can easily make on this code to make it in line with some of these software principles that we have mentioned?
Can you? Okay, yes. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the first thing you told us was, instead of having all these transformation for the different columns, why don't we just put the different column name in a list and then use a function to apply those transformation, since they are similar to the list. So we are trying to remove white spaces from each column using the strip function. So we can put the location name and item in a list, maybe as columns, and then write a function to perform the strip method on those columns. I think so. Yeah.
All right. That's correct. So thank you for trying. That's very correct. That's one of the transformations that we can actually do on this example, so as to make it more in line with software principles that we're discussing. Can somebody mention any other one? Can someone else try? Let's see. There are some things, with so many changes we can make in this to make it, to improve it. So, okay, no one wants to try again.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, very fine. Oarabile, evening,
Great.
welcome.
Good evening. I think you can do what you said, create a list of the column names and then use like a Lambda function to strip them, because you are doing the same thing 3 times.
Okay, that's very correct. Thank you. Okay, so
Okay.
well, Marvellous. Okay, let's hear you,
Okay.
Marvellous.
All right. Just a try. Since you said a spaghetti code means having all your code written in a file, maybe we can divide the codes into modules. Maybe we can have imports, modules, and then the functions in another file, so that it won't be just a single file containing all of the codes.
Okay. All right. So that's breaking down breaking it down further rather than writing it in one file. All right. Thank you. So thank you for your attempt. That was definitely correct. From what we have here, what this simply does is to read a CSV file and to do a transformation of just removing white spaces in 3 columns, and then to save it into, to load it into daily sales database. So in the next, go to the next slide and let's see how we're able to transform this from what we have here. All right, thank you. So now I had to break this down into different because it was lengthy. So first of all, the code we saw was to get a CSV file, to do a transformation, though to strip changes, and then to load it in a database, which is the extract, the transform, and the load functions. So these three, first of all, are different logics. So we have to put them in different, we have to define them as different functions. Now, what this version here does is, first of all, we're using, here is assumed that we're using a Jupyter notebook. So first of all, we imported the required libraries, which is pandas and SQLite 3. Then we defined a function, first of all, that will handle the extraction, that will handle the ingestion of the CSV file. And we called that extract. Now, the extract function collects, receives something as an argument, which is data. Now, data is coming in as a string. So that also is another way of handling inputs in our functions, by specifying the data type that we expect the function to accept. And okay, I didn't add the one it will return. So data in brackets, data semicolon string tells us that it's receiving a string file. Data is a string, sorry, it's receiving a string. That is what is what our extract function is accepting. So data is coming in as a string. And then the next line, extracts data from CSV, is actually a docstring. Now, when we write a function, immediately after defining the function, the next line is the docstring that tells us what that function is all about. Now, this docstring is written in 3 quotation marks. So it's written inside 3 quotation marks. So please just take note of that also. Our docstring is written inside 3 quotation marks, and it explains briefly what that function does. So this one is just to extract data from a CSV file. And then our return says it is returning the data frame. It is returning PD read CSV data, is returning the data frame of the data it has accepted. Then next we go to the transform function. The transform function is receiving, the name of the file is df, and it is receiving a data frame, and that's why we have pd.data frame inside the transform bracket. So that tells it that the kind of file it is going to receive is a data frame. And then the next line gives us the docstring, which is what that transformation function is doing. Then we're looking at, we declared columns as the columns that we need to transform. Oh, I just realized there is 3 actually. Okay, but it's still the same thing. Columns now gives us it should be the list of the 3 columns we are actually performing the strip function on. And then the next line, df calls now does the transformation on each element in calls list. So the first time it runs, it does the transformation on location column. The second time it does the same transformation on name column, and the third time should be on item, but we omitted item there. Then at the end it returns a data frame. Then thirdly, we are defining the load function. Now, what the load function accepts here is that the load function accepts, first of all, a data frame. Then it accepts also the name of the database in string. Then it also accepts the table name. The table name where we are going to save the result of our transformation. The table, it also accepts the table name as a string. Then the next line tells us what def load does, which is to load data in a SQLite database. And then the with keyword gives the connection to the database, and then df to SQL converts the data frame to a SQL table and stores it in the DB name database. So then next we're going to, after that, next please. No, you've missed it. To go up, please. I think, did I make an error? Okay, that's it. So after defining the load, the extract, the transform, and the load functions, next is we are going to define an ETL function that would now call all of these extract, load, and transform function. It will call all of them and run it at once. So ETL, so finally we defined an ETL function that accepts data, which is the CSV file name. Then it accepts the name of the database, all as string. Then it also accepts the table name as a string also. And then the next is us telling the function of explaining what that function does, which is to run the entire ETL process. Then next, we decided that in writing this, there is need that we try and catch errors. If there is any error while running our code, it's going to give us that the process has failed. But if no error runs, if no error is encountered, it's going to give us an ETL complete. So in the try block, we'll just call the extract, the transform, and the load data. And if this process is complete, it simply tells us that the ETL is complete. But if the process in our try block fails, it's going to raise an exception and tell us that it's going to catch the error and tell us that ETL process has failed. So now this also is a means of knowing where our errors come from. Additionally, in defining each function, it's also useful that we write try and except. We use try and except to catch certain errors that are common when we're defining certain functions. Like the first function that we defined, which is the extract function. Some of the likely errors that we might get in that function, since it's a CSV file, is that the file is not available. So we can rewrite that one, the first extract one, such that we'll put it in a try and except block, such that if the file is not available, instead of giving us the lengthy red and blue error messages, it will simply tell us that the file has not been found. So the file was not found. Additionally, if we're calling APIs, there is also a way to catch errors for APIs, and that is using the status codes. The status codes, I think we've done. Now, the status codes for the API tells us if the API call was successful, if there was an error either from the client or the server side. So in catching errors using the extract, when we define extract function for APIs, we can easily use the status code. So if the status code is 200 something, is 200 and 200 and something, then that means it was successful. If we have like a 400 status code, I think that shows a server-side error or something. I can't really remember what the 400 code is for. Then we have 500 plus. That should be a client-side error. So these are various ways that we can actually catch errors if when we're defining functions. Then finally, after calling the entire ETL process, we'll now call it in our main code, and that is using this if double underscore name double underscore equal in quotes double underscore main double underscore. Now this is a Python keyword that tells Python that this is actually the main part of this code. So when we write that, underneath it, we now call on our ETL process. Now, what we are going to give the ETL is, first of all, as defined in the ETL function. First, we are going to give the CSV file name, which is sales underscore CSV. Then next in string. Then next we call on the database name, which we set as daily underscore sales.db. And then finally we gave the sales table as the database table name. So when we run this function, it calls, when we run if it runs the if part of the function, if part of our code, it calls the ETL function, and from the ETL function, it calls the extract, it calls the transform, it calls the load, and everything just works seamlessly. So in situations like this, code like this that we have written is something that can be used not just by one not just by running only one sales dot underscore CSV. So if we want to say we want to let me say we want to ingest another file, and the file name is okay, let's say orders. We do not need to go back to the first extract function that we wrote. We simply come to the if part and we we change the name of the file. And by changing the name of the file, we can easily call the extract function and it will extract it and make the changes that we need. So when we break down codes like this, it is reusable, can be used anytime, can be used to call any file type, as long as we understand the logic that we have written in our extract and in our transformation functions. So next, let's see. Okay, so this one now I was just rewritten using Python scripts. still on the first example, the example we're working with, that's the spaghetti codes that I wrote in some slides back. Now, the one we just looked at is how to use, if you're using a Jupyter notebook, you can put these codes in different blocks, run them all, and it will run. But when you're using Python scripts, the process is slightly different. The process is actually slightly different because now each function you define will be stored, will be saved as a different Python file. Whereas in if you're using Jupyter Notebook, you can save all functions as one file. Though they are different, but you can save everything as one file. But using Python scripts, we get to save it as different files. So the logic that is being used is that in the first extract function, we extract it we save the extract function as give it a file name, say extract.py, which is Python. Then next we go to the transform function that was defined initially. We save that as transform.py. And then we also go to the load function. We save that load function as load.py. Save all three as Python files. Then in the main file now, that's where the difference actually comes in. In the main file, since we are going to work with extract, transform, and load functions that are saved and stored in different files, in the main file now, we have to import these functions that we have already saved, we have created and saved as extract, transform, load.py. So in the main function, we are going to call from extract, we import extract. Now, the first extract is the file name actually. So if you save your extract function as say extracted data, the first sentence there will be from extracted data import extract. So same with the second one. We said from transform here being the file name, then we are importing transform also. Transform, the second transform being the name of the function. Then thirdly, we do the same for load, where from load being the load file name, load.py, we are importing the load function. And every other process is similar to what we did initially. Both this and also how to call the function. So to save this one, you just save this one as etl example as etl.py.python, and just when you want to run it, you call etl.py, and everything will run as long as all the things you have saved are actually in the same folder. So these are some of the software principles that are actually vital to us as data engineers. And what I would like us to always have at the back of our minds and actually implement always implement whenever we're writing our codes. So just take note of these principles so that when you're writing codes, you understand that you're writing not just for your consumption, but also for others. Do the comments and then write the comments, make your codes modular, make the logic different, and ensure that in our codes you're writing, you follow the software principles. So this is where I'll need someone that has a PC. Or can you still try that, Steve? Because
want
next we are
to
looking at
is it for the
just
classwork?
Yes.
So I should open this workbook.
Can you do that from your phone?
Yeah, I'm using a Chromebook, so it's not like a normal PC, but it's a Chromebook.
Oh, okay, let's go now. Yeah. So what you do when you open it, you just you can just make a duplicate. Make a duplicate so it will be in your account. Then do the changes.
Okay. As it? Okay. So same page not found.
Page not found. Hold on. Really? Okay, hold on. Let me verify that I shared this thing well. Oh gosh. It's just 19 me. This thing, it's just data sets that I put there. Let me see. Okay. Failed to update visibility. Hold on, please. Let me.
Okay.
Hold on. I've just put this thing on the chat like that. So.
That's on Discord.
It's just, it's not that, it's just list that you need to convert or something. It's not that huge.
Okay. Is it the page you want to put on Discord or the list
No, I'm
itself?
saying I've just copied the list. Maybe put it as a CSV file on Discord and all that.
Okay.
Because this thing has been. Oh. It's not really opening here. Okay, thank you. There's really nothing there. Okay, I think you can refresh it. Let me
I should
see.
refresh it now.
Yeah, refresh. Let me see if I can. Okay, I believe, yeah, I think it has opened. Okay, so you can just make a copy and
Oh, I'm clicking it. It's not restricted. General, only you can access your. What is happening? Well, I'm clicking it. It's no making any copy.
Okay, just see if you can see if you can work on it like that.
Okay. Okay, this is everything, right?
Yes, that's I would have copied it as a CSV file. Now, what you just do, which is our classwork today, is first off, you convert this to a data frame, and then do one transformation and save it. I don't know if SQLite works on this place. I don't know if SQLite works here. I mean on Data Lab. So let's try SQLite. If it doesn't work, we could just save it as a CSV file. So just basically write a function. Did I just say write a function? Just do the extraction, do one transformation, that is to get the total cost, add it to the database, add it to the data frame, and then save. Let's see if we can store in the database SQLite, but if we can't, then that means it's not available on Data Lab, and you just store it as a CSV file.
Normally,
So
I'm supposed to
that's
be able to click.
basically the.
I'm supposed to be able to click on all these files, right? Why am I not able to click on? Or is it my desktop that's misbehaving? Let me try and open it again. Oh.
You can type then, all right?
Yeah, but I think, I don't know, it's like the system is slowing down.
Okay.
Okay. Are you sure I can access this file? Access to SQL. Are
Yeah,
you sure?
yes.
From here, I'm saying that nothing is editable, run or nothing is editable. Edit, and I'm trying to insert a cell. It's not, nothing is clickable here.
Can you make a copy or see if you can get a duplicate so that you will be able to open it in your own account. Then it should be editable from your account, I believe, because
Okay, see. So new workbook. Should I create like use a new workbook?
or you can create a new workbook, copy that, then paste it and just
Okay, so what am I doing next?
okay.
Am I importing libraries?
Sorry?
Am I importing the libraries? It's already pre-installed.
It's like it's a general work, so everyone should be involved right now.
No, what I'm saying is, does this workbook now has the necessary libraries, so I have to import them separately?
No, it doesn't. You have to import what is required to run all of that.
Okay.
So over to you all.
We are going to be converting it to a JSON format. Are we? Are we going to be? No, I don't think so. Is there any other library we are using? I think it's just pandas.
Sorry, please. I think I'm lost. What's the tax? It's just some data I see here. So what are we to do with the fact?
Okay, so the task is this. You convert that data to a data frame, and bearing in mind the principles that we discussed this evening, you make sure you implement some of them. You convert that to a data frame, do a transformation, just get the multiply, get the total units and that's quantity and unit, right? Yeah, quantity and unit cost. That's basically the transformation you should do. Then load it in a database. If SQLite doesn't work from here, then maybe we can just put it as a CSV file. That's it. But bearing in mind the principles that we discussed this evening.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
The first thing is to convert the data to a data frame. Okay. Is anybody helping, or should I continue?
I think I have to convert it to a dictionary first because I think they are just lists. Item is a list, quantity is a list. Am I getting it right?
Yeah, and it's already a dictionary already now, since it's yeah, it is now. They are key value
Okay.
sets. I put the data in quotations. That was the issue. Okay, so it's a data frame now. Okay, so now Ms. Ogochukwu, we are getting. You said we are getting the. Is it possible to create like a? Let me see if I can add a content. Yeah, text. So what are we getting, Ms. Ogochukwu? So that I write it down.
The transformation is just total. Get the
That's
total.
revenue.
We have
Total
quantity
revenue.
and yeah, yes.
Yeah, total revenue. As we are doing quantity times price, then the sum of the quantity times price. Okay, get total revenue, then load to SQLite database. SQLite database. Okay, so this is what we are doing.
Yes.
Okay. Who was assisting me before, please? Oh. Okay.
I see. Please, can I get what you are trying to achieve?
Yeah, I'm trying to do what Ogochukwu said we should do. That's use a function. So I'm trying to create a function to load data.
Okay. You want to extract
So I want
data.
it to be a, yeah, so yes. So like I
Okay.
want to make this a function. So we'll break it into different parts.
All right. Okay.
I think this is all we have to do now, except we want to print. Does it have to be in indentation?
Yes, and I think data is a dict instead of a string dictionary.
Okay, yes.
And the semicolon after the function declare.
After this function.
Yes, after those brackets, just a semicolon.
Like this.
No. On line 2, at the end of the line.
Here.
Line 2. No.
There's the first line.
Okay, line 2 here. After the function here. Okay, yes. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we can, I believe we can return this now, return data.
Yeah, maybe before that, you can just multiply the quantity of unit cost so that you return that one.
Yeah,
Isn't
that supposed to be the transformation phase? Phase.
Okay, okay. Okay, I think I get it now.
So let me see if this would work.
But we want to return df, not data.
Return df. Okay. 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 Quantity. So how do we do a multiplication here? Is it like this?
No, no, it will be the quantity. Then the star will be outside. Then you call the for the units, the column.
Then, we are supposed to sum. Okay, I think this is it, right? And we have to.
I think we have to return the old data frame. So maybe we have to put the data frame step
That's
after
returned here.
having the column.
Okay. Unmatched. The parenthesis missing. Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's not there. Okay, this okay, we are running a function, so it won't be there until we call it the function. Sorry. I think this is all we are doing. Then the stage 3. Stage 3 is to load transform data. Okay. And we are supposed to load it into SQLite. So import SQLite 3. Okay, so how do we go about using SQLite 3 now? SQL Agina.
I think you are going to define the function and include the parameters. I think I think it contains 3 parameters, just like version of the slides.
Huh? So I should define
I
a
said
function.
yes.
Load data. The first function will
I
be
think
the connection. Is it the connection?
I can't really recall, but I think it contains 3 parameters. Then I think one would be the the table name, and the database. So we can
That's the database name. The database name, do we have a database, or will it create the database? Another thing is, do we have a database? The database, will it be SQLite?
I think we are to. I think she said there was a database restored that we need to transfer to. I think that was what she said.
Okay.
You can use any name. I'm
We
not
can
sure
use
if
any name.
SQLite. Yeah, anyway, let's see. I'm not sure if it's available on Data Lab, but I just want to. But you can use any name.
We call DB. Let's just say test DB. Is it like an extension? Do I have to put .db or .SQLite? Or this is fine?
I think
It's .db.
or
Okay, .db.
available. So I don't think there's any need for it.
So okay.
I think
What are we doing, guys?
TF to SQL. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay. And this. We have to, from what I can see, if we have to do this, the database does not have a table, so we have to like create a table using like SQL query. Since it's like a new DB.
Please,
Okay.
can I use this? What is the read function? What are you trying to do? Yes.
What should I do to the width font? The width. What should I do to it? That's the context manager. This width.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the that line of code is in. I really do not.
Okay, this one is we are connecting to SQLite. We are trying to connect to the database. Yeah, it's just like SQL Alchemy where you connect to the zip. Yes, connect to the engine. SQL engine. Let's create engine now. Okay, that's create engine. But this one, from what I can see, I think we will have to create like a database itself from scratch here.
Okay.
Yeah, and write the SQL code.
if it was to be an I think I'm familiar with an SQL. I think you have to create an engine.
SQL. You know, when you are creating an
Yes,
engine,
create
you are
engine,
connecting to
then
an existing database.
yes, yes. Okay, I really do not know how to do it.
Of course, that doesn't make sense here.
Sorry, I just want to give a suggestion. I don't know if I'm correct.
Okay.
So, um,
Okay.
if you are trying to well, I think you are trying to write the error, right?
Yeah, to create the database.
Or create a thing.
And this is we are creating
Okay,
a table in the database.
okay, okay.
For this is SQLite. SQLite, what function does it use for floating, what is it called now? Floating numbers, floating point numbers. Is it decimal or numeric?
I'm using it. Then the
Is
content
that
is not meant to be text.
is quantity? Okay, I'll change it. Revenue should be numeric, and this should be integer. Is it int or integer now?
Can you use it? Okay.
Okay. Okay. So do we define? So we define another function to load the data sets. Do we do it in a new? Let's see if this one will throw any error. Since it's a function, it can't. Will it throw an error? Incomplete inputs commits.
Except, I think we have one before.
You say?
Except,
Okay.
I think except the time except.
We should try and accept. Okay. Yes. Yes, it's true.
Without the next.
Since we use the accept. Sorry, my system is hanging seriously.
I guess someone sent a message. So I think it might be a little you can text me.
I should check the message. Okay, let me check from my phone. Message gf.tosql. Okay, tosql name table con. Okay, yes. So, is that after Oarabile? Is it after the except?
It is after you open the with SQL 3.connect EP name as con. So you
Yeah.
can remove all of that because that is, it's good, but it's, yeah, we can use what Pandas already has.
Okay, so since we have the data frame again
Yeah.
already, we can just do data frame dot two. Okay, dot two to SQL. Okay, no. Okay. Oarabile, this all right?
Yes, you can
Okay,
remove
so
lines 6 and 8. I don't think we need those.
Line
And
6
then,
and okay.
yeah.
That's uh Okay, yes, it's true. Oh,
Steve,
yeah.
okay, so I just tried here, and I don't think it's possible using this data lab here. Though I'm getting an error, but I'm trying to see what I did here, but I'm getting an error. So
Okay.
let's just transform it to, just save it as a CSV file.
Okay.
Mm.
9.5. It's true. Okay. So it said expected an indented block after a week. What did I do now?
I think we are not saving to database again, right?
So are we still, let's assume we want to return something here. Are we returning what are we returning at the end of this?
And he said we are to transfer everything to a CSV file, not a database anymore. So I don't think
Okay,
there's
so
any need for SQL, right?
okay. We are loading to a CSV file. CSV file. Sorry guys, my system is very slow. Thank you, Farid. Nice, sir. Welcome. Oh.
My papa knock for head. I don't know. I don't tell him.
Can put the line the variable so that I can just return the variable.
I should put what?
Wait, today na first time. What? How many?
I should return.
Two.
This, like you can put it in a variable so that the VM
Don't worry. I thought I will talk to them.
and put it
It's part of the function. Do we need to put it in a variable? I don't think so.
okay. Okay.
So I think what we'll do next is to run the ETL part of it. Let me see if there will be any error. Yeah.
Yeah? What Friday? Come out your this thing. Why have you run away?
Not this time.
Have you eaten?
Not yet. Oh, we're having
I was able to use the attendance link. What's wrong there?
Okay, so while we are still on this, I sent in the attendance link. So please, you all should write your attendance now. It's almost time. Okay, Steve, so what's the status? Can Steve hear me?
Yeah, aside, I'm trying to the ETL part of it, so I'm just trying to make sure everything is okay. So it's the ETL part I'm trying to do. Extract data. Let's see.
Okay.
Then transform.
Complaining for the link. That's the link. Oh.
I can't hear you. The line is breaking.
Sorry, someone complained about it. I just opened that link now. I opened it now and it's opened.
They work for me. I don't know. Sorry.
You said how to sign in. So, please, maybe you check your network or something. I've just returned it with the same link. If you're having issues, please, maybe you could refresh your browser or something. Thank you.
Oh.
Um, um, Steve. Oh,
Ma?
Steve.
Yes. Yeah.
Prof, your hand is raised. Okay, Prof, please hold on. I'm looking at the time now. It's almost 8 o'clock. I didn't want us. Yes, I don't want us to go past 8 o'clock. I want to suggest, what is the issue first of all? Where is everything going well, or you're facing any problem? Because this is not meant to be a single project. It's supposed to be a group for everybody.
Hello? Yeah. Let's multiply sequence of one integer with type floats.
Yeah, please mute your mic. Prof, please mute your mic. We can't hear clearly. Prof, please try the link again. It's working. I've resent it and I accessed it. I just opened it now from my end. So if it's not opening from yours, I guess it has to be something with your own network. Please retry and see if you can write the attendance. So Steve, at this 8 o'clock, I didn't want us to exceed 8 o'clock. You've done
Yes.
well, Sha.
Yeah. So the system is just slow. That's why it was wasting so much time.
That's fine. That's fine. You've done well, and those that also assisted, Oarabile, Marvellous, yeah,
Hello?
thank you.
Hello, ma.
Thank you. You've done well. So here's what we're going to
Hello.
do, because what can we hear you?
Please, I'm still
Yes,
having challenges today in respect to attendance. Last week, I couldn't feel. Today, the same thing. It's not opening.
send me a message on Discord.
What should
See
I do?
that.
Okay, I will do that, ma. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So what I'm going to suggest is, we've gone past time. Steve, could you send this link?
This
Share it.
particular one.
So yes, yours. Share it
Okay.
on our Discord. Then I think we can do this in our individual at our time. Then next week we're going to start with this, and someone is just going to give us a rundown of how he was able to handle this. Did you get?
Okay. Okay.
So just put the link on Discord, and between now and next week, yes, we will all attempt it. I've also tried the database something, and it's actually working on data camp. I tried loading it to a database and it worked on data camp. Somebody else can also do that. Then next week, someone is going to give us like a brief rundown of how he or she was able to complete this and write it using the principles that we just discussed. So
Okay.
that
I
would be
think the.
for
Can you hear
okay.
me, August? Yeah.
Yes,
I
I
think
can.
it has run successfully, but it's safe to clean.csv. So can we output it? Is there a way to check what is inside
Yes.
this?
Close to report, there is that arrow there. Click on it and let's see
Okay,
what
this
the
one.
data is. Yes.
Okay, this is it.
Yes. Open it and let's see.
Okay, yeah, it's run successfully. Yeah. So there's revenue. There's yeah. Or should I
What's
read it
that
with
value?
Panda so that they will see it, the output?
8999999. No.
It's multiplication. You know, it's type
Hold
float
on. No.
within.
That value in number 13, it doesn't look correct.
It is now. This is 42 times 28.45. That's 119 points. Is we didn't round it up to 2 decimal place. Yeah. So this is 42 times 20,
Okay.
28. Yeah.
28.45. All right. Okay. Well done. So someone else can attempt loading it into a SQLite database. It actually did go from my end here. So that's, you can do that on data camp. Then you have to explain your logic for us. Explain how you did all of this. But let's leave that till next week. So thank you to everyone who attempted this, for your contributions and for everything. Thank you very much. You've done well. Then I want to state something. Two things actually. Okay. Okay. Yes. So I want to state three things before we go. One, based on the assignments that was given, the projects that was given that were supposed to end today. So I've decided to extend it to Wednesday. I think Wednesday is fair enough. So if you've not submitted, you have today's, that's like 4 days extension, right? Today is 8, today is 11th. So you have between now and Wednesday. It has opened from Steve's end now. So you have between now and Wednesday 12th of November. So between now and Wednesday, please submit yours, so we can go ahead with other things. Then secondly, there will be a form, that's a feedback form for the community, everybody in the community. That should be available anytime this week. When it's available, I'll put it on our Discord channel. It's for everyone to fill, just to get your feedback and to basically feedback on how the program has been so far. So please, when you see the link, ensure and endeavor that you fill it, so that you make your voice heard. If there are any suggestions for improvement, anything you have whatsoever, please make sure you fill the form and let the community know. Then thirdly, there will be a capstone project from the community now. Though it's still in the works, but I just want us to have it at the back of our mind, so that when the time comes and I send it in the page, we will all be prepared. So there will be a capstone project from the community. We're still working on it to see how that goes. So when that is available, I'll send it in the group. I just want to give everyone a heads up, so we'll know what to expect going forward. Then these are sessions, we're looking at ending it by November, last Saturday of November. So we're going to discuss, I think next week. Okay, no, that'll be next two weeks time. All right. So the assignments will be given out immediately after this session, as usual. But then I had to add one course. That should have come in after the data engineering and Python courses, but I just decided to add it now because it's somehow related to the project that was given. Based on those that have submitted, I've seen where most of us said we're having difficulties. So there is doing as part of our assignments for this week. So that's not actually part of data engineering in Python, but it's still on Python. It has to do with manipulation of data and joining it and all that. So these are the things that I want us to have at the back of our mind going into this week. Big thank you for everybody for your attendance. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you very much for all you've been doing. And if anyone has any question, please, now it's the time before we call it a day.
Yeah, I had one question. This tax has made me forget. Okay, yeah. So can I rework if I've submitted my link already? Can I still, since we have time till now, can I rework on the project and further?
Of course, we did Git push and pull last week, right? And your project is on Git.
Yes. I'm saying, am I permitted to work if I've already submitted?
You can make changes, of course.
Okay. No problem.
All right. So if that's it, I believe no other person has any other question. So thank you for joining in today. Apologies for eating into your 10 minutes. All right, thank you, Prof. I'll look into it. So thanks for joining. And I guess we'll see again next week.
Okay.
See you then. And good night, everybody.
No problem. Welcome. Good night.